back, guys. We are back. Guys, you walk in, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KR Culture Radio. Hakeem, Jordan, what's cracking like? What's cracking like? What is cracking like?
Hey man, we here with the beautiful people in the world.
Absolutely, man. It feels good. It feels great. Oh, happy Memorial Day to you guys. Good holiday to be working with you guys. But other than that, we'd like to get it in. So let's go. Let's get it.
Not there, but yeah, shout out to all the military people that served our country. Oh, also the retiring veterans who also used to serve our country. Happy Memorial Day to you guys. Y'all guys are making this country safe. Thank you guys so much. So much. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for serving the country. And this special Memorial Day, we serve you guys and we give you guys an appreciation. Happy Memorial Day. Not only that, but shout out to a new subscriber right now, watching us on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining in. We really do greatly appreciate you. Shout out to OJ Speed watching us right now. Shout out to Shakira, I hope I'm saying your name right now, watching us on Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so y'all never miss it when we go live. We're moving ahead because it is Memorial Day weekend. So go on there to sports. Jordan, what's going on in the sports world when it comes to sports news, big dog?
Let's get into the NBA. So you guys saw, the New York Knicks, they beat the Indiana Pacers 106-100. New York had a good comeback. But that's not what the topic is. The topic is that we found out today the Tyrese Halliburton father will be allowed to attend Pacers home games. Mind you, before, NBA, this kind of banned them or intended, any playoff games, but they have rescinded it. And now he's being back to watch his games and to the upper levels, not the lower levels, but the upper levels, watching his son play in the playoffs against the Knicks. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
To attend Pacers home games in the playoffs, starting with Game 4 on Tuesday. That is according to ESPN. He has not attended the past 8 games after that on-court confrontation with Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo during the first round in late April. Now, the elder Halliburton will be seated in a suite during the remaining home games, but does not plan to travel to any road games. This just in out of the NBA, where
So he will be attending the Pacers home games, and hopefully he will see his son beat the New York Knicks to go and advance to the NBA Finals. So go ahead, Ronnie. Do you agree or disagree with the NBA letting him go back and see Indiana home games?
Yeah, he should be at the Indiana home game. I don't think he should be able to be traveling with the team, but yeah, he should be able to be at the Indiana home game. They give him that much, not only that, but his son right now is in the Eastern Conference Finals, so they want him to be over there for support of his son. But however, going on the road like to New York and being on, because remember what he did against Giannis, to me was very disrespectful. Even though we know it was just part of the game, but it's just certain things you could do as a fan that you're not supposed to do that against players, because antagonizing players like that. Luckily, that Giannis was just a cool guy, but if Giannis was entitled to put his hands on people, he would have got seriously hurt. But at the same time, yeah, I think he should be allowed to be at the home game, especially when it comes to the Pacers, because they play tomorrow night. So now we will see him there, pretty much as a fan rooting on his son. Even though I think the Knicks are going to win that game. But go ahead, Hakeem, your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with that. He should be there, man. People got to learn from their mistakes. I think his father know what he did was wrong. He took accountability. They apologized. They moved on. You know what I mean? And he should be able to see his son play one of the most best games in his career. You know what I mean? Going after a championship is the best thing. To want to see your son to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And usually, in the NBA, when it comes to fans, if you're banned, you're banned. It's like you're not come back from the stadium. But when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton's dad, John Halliburton, and everything, I believe I agree with you guys both. He should definitely be there. I'm glad that the NBA really kind of rescinded and said, hey, everybody can make mistakes, which is the case and everything. I know. At the time when he was going at Giannis, he was very excited. They beat the Bucks in 5, and he was just showing emotion on his court and then showing emotion to Giannis, which he shouldn't have done that. He should have shown emotions to his dad, and he would have gotten in trouble. But then again, they rescinded it. Now he get to see his son play against the Knicks. The Knicks, like I said, they won last night, and some people thought NBA Pacers going 2-up. They thought it was going to get swept, but hopefully for the series it goes 7 games, like the other series in the West as well. So, want to see some good basketball when it comes to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all. Kobe do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch, guys. Make sure you follow. It's so very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X, and also to our new addition to Character Radio Family, TikTok. Don't be afraid to do, guys, right now watching on TikTok. Go ahead, deep dive into the conversation as we continue to go around and pretty much do our job and making sure you guys are seeing any trending news. But thank you guys so much for being here on this Memorial Day. Moving along to money. Money makes the world go around. Money makes our pockets fat. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to aspect of financial news?
Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about the U.S. dollar. So you guys don't know that the U.S. dollar is weakening. I think there's a couple of countries. I know for sure that in the UK, they their currency weighs more than our currency. So we're just gonna really deep down on why the U.S. dollar is weakening from Yahoo Finances. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we will chop it up.
On the so-called Sell America trade, the dollar moving lower today, retreating from some of the positivity we saw earlier in the month. Our next guest is saying the recent run-up in the dollar was an opportunity to sell. Let's get into why with Jayati Bardwaj, FX and macro strategist at TD Securities. Thank you so much for being here in studio. We really appreciate it. I know that you expect the dollar to fall by another 5% by the end of this year. To what extent do you see that as perhaps a cushion for stocks and kind of operationalize that relationship for me?
So what's interesting is actually that we've been hearing for the last 5 years the dollar is overvalued. In fact, for the last decade, the dollar is overvalued. But interestingly, the dollar's overvaluation has actually dovetailed with foreigners piling money into US assets, particularly US equities. For the longest time, people could just hold US equities unhedged because they would also get a very strong dollar rally to support their portfolio. Mm-hmm. But now that's not the case anymore. In fact, even if SPX might have tried to jump back to levels pre-Trump, but the dollar has not regained any of its strength. In fact, I think investors now have a very strong reason to hedge their long US asset exposure, and the dollar is no longer behaving like a safe haven, unfortunately. I would say it's actually following much more of an emerging market playbook, which is, I think, the unfortunate truth that we need to come to terms with.
And I think that's such a fascinating and important point. Do you see the United States behaving like an emerging market right now from an asset class perspective?
Absolutely, because when we're talking about this big, beautiful bill, it's actually also leading to a big deficit concern. We're not addressing the problem that Trump said he would start out to address. Mm-hmm. And that's actually feeding into risk premium into both the bond markets, which is why yields are higher. And there's also clearly risk premium in the FX markets, which is why the dollar is really struggling to rally here. In fact, the euro is now stepping up as the liquid alternative safe haven, as you mentioned, in equities because of attractive valuations, but also in FX because it is cheap, and it is now the other safe haven that people are now looking towards.
Now, I can hear investors getting nervous as you're speaking about the United States behaving like an emerging market. So let's put a finer point on this. Do you think that the current mix of policies has the U.S. behaving a certain way within markets, or are you suggesting that long-term U.S. Treasuries will be treated more like a credit rather than, its own asset class and a safe haven security?
I think that is the next biggest question that we are trying to answer for clients, that if we're talking about a big confidence shock, which you've seen, remnants of that, the way markets have been behaving, The volatility associated with current administration's policies is a big confidence shock, which is actually forcing other countries to step up their local fiscal policies, work on fostering stronger trade relationships amongst themselves. Europe and China are now talking to each other. It's also forcing other countries to think about self-sufficiency and cutting dependence on the US. The gap between the US and the rest of the world was extremely wide for the last few years, but now that gap is shrinking from both ends. US owing to its policies and the volatility around it, and now the rest of the world is being forced to introspect and or do better on their own accord. Yeah. Now that gap is shrinking and there's more opportunities to diversify. Now, in terms of diversification, unfortunately, those kinds of moves take quarters, if not years, to play out. That's why we think that the next move lower in the dollar will not be as rapid as Q1, because Q1 was a very rapid positioning adjustment, but the next move will be structural, which will play out over the coming quarters. And that's why we think you could get another 5% move lower in the dollar by the end of the year.
Now, that sounds a bit more like a recalibration from a place where the U.S. was the only game in town to now there's other parts of the world that are going to benefit from this mix of policy. So back to it's a recalibration that is healthy, or is it an existential threat to the United States?
I think it's a healthy recalibration. Like, we've been doing so much digging into capital flows data, but it does seem that since COVID. It's a recalibration, because for the longest time, in fact, most markets became a pure US move and a pure dollar beta. But now you can actually start to focus on local idiosyncratic stories. You can focus on where are the valuations within emerging markets. Can Asia now rise up over Latin America? I think
So yeah, as he was talking about, seeing the problems of U.S. dollar, I feel like I said, personally for me, having a stronger economy will raise the U.S. dollar, but I want to hear from you guys. So go ahead, Rodney, man. What's your take on how the U.S. dollar is low, and can you see the U.S. Dollar currency could come right back?
No, the U.S. dollar eventually will die, because everything now is heading on to cryptocurrency. I think that's going to be the new when it comes to aspect of new money. So eventually it will die. As a world continue to evolve, it's no longer going to need paper dollars. But United States as a whole, as a country, when it comes to economically, no, we still going to remain strong. We still going to be one of the strongest. Of course, it's going to be us, then China, and then the other foreign countries. But the dollar itself eventually will die. That I think that is going to happen. Eventually, it will die, and we're going to head on going to cryptocurrency. I think that's the way the world is heading to now. And Bitcoin is a prime example. Of course, it's not financial advice. Always speak with a financial advisor, but you see, Bitcoin is continuing to rise. It's showing that how the American people are starting to realize where its money is heading to now. Go right ahead, Ken.
So here's the thing. I was looking at this from an economist point of view. I want people to understand something. The overvaluation of the dollar had discouraged manufacture and exporting. If we make America poorer, we can export and manufacture. Now that might reset the global trade. We depended so much on foreign exports to do here, where we became codependent on other people feeding us, clothing us, and building for us. Doing this whole reset will probably align the dollar back to being a strong currency within the next 5 years. So they have to make us poorer to be richer.
Good boy, how it came on that. So with as we can see, our president, which we have all the way to 2028 to see what he's gonna do with the economy. It's gonna be really a shift. That's what we're looking at right now. I know people is not happy how the shift is going and everything with the tariffs and everything. Inflation is still on a high rise when it comes to United States of America. We're gonna see, I'm not just the dollar, but the currency just the way it is and everything. I do agree to the point that with Ronnie that in the future, it might not happen in maybe in our generation, but we will gradually see changing of not taking the dollar and going forward to go to cryptocurrency or some type of currency, electric currency, because if we start seeing the Fed starting to stop pennies, what Trump tried to do, nickels, quarters, and everything, then we will start seeing a shift. I'm not using the U.S. dollar and using more electronic currency as well. So, but at the end of the day, when it comes to this U.S. currency, I can definitely see the turnaround. It's just right now, it's just we're just in a mess right now, and hopefully in the next couple of years we can see a change.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click on, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. So very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. And shout out to those also watching us on TikTok. Thank you guys so much for sharing our content on TikTok. We really do greatly appreciate it. Shout out to you, Mimi, that was sharing our content on TikTok, and also I think someone else, if I can believe so. It's going so fast. Thank you guys so much for sharing our content on TikTok. We really do greatly appreciate you guys. Y'all making KR Culture Radio the biggest thing on the planet. Moving along to hip-hop. Hip-hop. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to aspect of hip-hop news?
Well, let's talk about Drake. So, Drake just came out with his hit Nokia, and it's really hot right now. And also, he's not stopping with the Oval Fest, because he has announced that the Oval Fest is on the return. So, right now, Drake, he's heating up, as I can see right now. And right now, he's trying to get his title back as being one of the best rappers out there. So, go ahead. I can't play the clip about him announcing that he's determined the Oval Fest. And after that, we're going to talk about Drake.
Guy right there, that's my fucking brother. I've seen this guy from the beginnings.
No, for real,
from Day in the Life.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite song. You know that already. I know I could go word for word on that. But listen, I've seen this guy from day one. A humble spirit, a hard worker. This man observed all he needed to observe. This guy put the work in, made the songs. He's one of the best people I know, man. Realist, one of the realists. So congratulations, brother. I'm so proud of you. Make some noise for motherfucking Central C. The city loves you. We love you. Thank you for having me. You know I love you all. I'll see you this summer, by the way. Hey. I would keep going, but I want to see this man perform. But I will say this, though. Because I haven't had a chance to say this yet, but OVO Fest back this year, so we'll need you there for that, but you already know what it is. Love.
Don't say a word.
Love.
So there you have it. Drake, he's trying to come having a dominant year in 2025. And I think with the Oval Fest, that's that, people with fans can go to his festival and everything. I don't know, his lineup hasn't released yet, but we're going to find out who it is. But I'm going to start with you, Rod. Do you feel like Drake will have a comeback year in 2025 with the Oval Fest returning?
Drake will always have a comeback year, because Drake have huge fans that follow him for a very long time. Over 10 decades. So regardless of the fact wherever he go, he's still going to do numbers. Even though that situation with the Kendrick Lamar situation transpired last year, you see it's still not hurting Drake. Drake still continuing to cook, even though he lost some fans, but he also gained some new ones. That's how the music game goes, and that's how the rap game goes as well. So Drake is going to be Drake. He's going to continue to put other people's on, and he's going to still get the visibility like he normally get. Shout out to Drake. Go right ahead, King.
I think he lost the battle, but he didn't lose the war. So his popularity is still by far way more than Kendrick. Nokia had over 6 billion streams. It's a new song. So I don't think he's losing anything.
Yeah, I agree too. Drake, even though, with the beef last year, Drake, like I said, Drake's, he's the type of person, even though he can lose a beef like that, he still have the holding power, to come out with a song and come out with an album and also come out overfast and come back even harder until 2025 and everything. Drake has been out for almost 20 years now. Wow, time is flying and everything. He's been the past beefs for. He had many number one hits. I think he's up there with Michael Jackson with the most hits. Am I right? Hakeem? He has like the most hits.
I think about the same.
Yeah, he has about the same, a little bit more. He's up there. So yeah, man, Drake. He's a global hip hop icon, and him coming 2025. With the song and everything else. I don't expect nothing but the great things coming this year with Drake when it comes to Drake in 2025. So yeah, shout out to Drake. He's still the man, and he always gonna make big and major hits.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like I always, shout out to you guys tuning in on this Memorial Day. I know a lot of people having barbecues. A lot of people out on the beach. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, especially over there on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Kick. Thank you guys so much. We love you guys for tuning in, because we know you guys outside grilling. But y'all still turn on Chaos Culture Radio, showing some love and some support. Moving on, now we know we head into a different topic. It is First Start Monday, even though it's Memorial Day. Jordan, what's going on with Travis Hunter?
So over the weekend, he talked about this for a while, and he's been out of the spotlight ever since he got drafted with him and his fiance, now wife. Travis Hunter finally got married this weekend. He had a big celebration. I think they celebrated in Tennessee, and he finally tied out with his girlfriend, and now he's a married man. So go ahead, I can play the clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
There you go. What you gonna do now? Yep. Ready? You ready? Yeah, y'all count down from 3. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and one of the reasons this revolves because a lot of people still have mixed reviews because of last year, all the stuff that came out with their relationship, and now that he's married, for him, it's a good thing. Hopefully, he does well in the NFL and all that. But when it comes to some people think, he made a mistake about marrying her because, he's not the best type of woman for him. Other than that, I want to hear from you guys. So go ahead, Roddy, man. What's your take on this?
He's a man. He's a man, and he's making a grown man decision. And not that, but it's also rumored that he didn't even do a prenup. Bad mistake for the young monster. But you live and learn, and this is one of the struggles that it was one of the life situations you got to deal with. So if he end up getting a divorce, she might end up taking half. So I don't understand why they didn't advise him. But it's a rumor alleged that he didn't do a prenup. But we don't know how true that is. But I think the rumors probably is true that he didn't do a prenup. I think he's just a young guy that took a risk, and I wish him well in his NFL career. But if his NFL career doesn't go well, sorry, my man. But go ahead, Hakeem.
I don't disagree with him showing his wife love. I don't disagree with him getting married. And I'm gonna be honest, brother. I'm gonna take a little bit take. I want people to remember she had been with him literally over 5 years before he even blew up. Just because you play football doesn't all guarantee you to go to the NFL. You know what I mean? And yes, and she's older than him. I think it's right for him to marry her. She's invested a lot of years. She's been there quite some time. So whatever happens after that, that's on them. but I do think he did the right thing. He did do right by her. You know what I mean? If you've been a woman, you invested your time, money, your influence, and you've been there for quite some time, yeah. So we'll see how it works after that.
Yeah, we see a lot of, athletes when it comes to basketball or football, when they're in college, go to the pros, we see, when they get drafted, they're with their girlfriends, either at home or also at the NFL draft, as we can see. When now it comes to Travis Hunter and everything, I know, he went all viral because, his girlfriend was doing this and that, and they went just major viral. Now that, he always said that since last year, he's like, I'm going to marry this girl. When I get drafted, I always want to marry this girl. And that's what he did. So, and I'm happy with that. I know a lot of, when it comes to the prenup, we don't know that he did it or not, but I hope he did. I remember his coach, primetime Deion Sanders, said, hey, if you're going to marry the girl, prenup. Because if you that talented player as we see you to be, he could be one of the greatest, dual threat when it comes to cornerback and wide receivers, which he could make $100 million. If you make all pros, Pro Bowls, endorsements and everything. If he's that talented, he could make that amount of money and everything. So if he does and everything, he's not really protecting himself by, if it does happen, which I clearly doesn't. If they do get a divorce and everything, she's gonna want more half. And if you have kids, it's gonna be child support, and it depends on how long they've been together. Their spousal support. They've been together for 5 or 10 years. Some things is less. So, we like I said, we wish good for the brother. We just want to see him, going on that route of she taking half if it doesn't work out. But other than that, congratulations to you, Travis Hunter, man. You are a great person, a smart person, a great football player. And I wish you, an amazing thing when it comes to their marriage and also in the field. And I can't wait to see that man play when NFL. I'm dying to see, because I think he'll be rookie of the year this year.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Moving along to other trending news. Jordan, what's going on with the comedian? He said he charged with domestic violence.
So the Detroit comedian, Clinton Davis, was arrested over the weekend for domestic violence, and he went viral. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Social media comedian Davis is behind bars for no laughing matter here. He is accused of domestic violence. The Detroit native, whose real name is Carlos Davis, was arrested by Utica police on Friday. Investigators haven't released any additional information on the victims. We don't know much about the circumstances. Davis is being held at the Macomb County Jail on a $5,000 cash surety bond. Social media comedian Davis is behind bars for no laughing.
For what I know, I don't know. It was because his girlfriend or somebody else, but I'm seeing if I can find more information on that. But yeah, right now he's in jail, so he hasn't been bailed out, so he's still in jail. But hearing this news, Ronnie, what's your take on this?
I keep telling guys, start getting into altercation with women. Just walk away. Don't put your hands on them. Don't be violent with them. Don't even get loud with them. If you feel like the conversation is starting to become toxic, step out, walk away, and then come back when everything calms down. And also tell the woman to, like, hey, I'm gonna just step away for a few minutes. I'm wait till you calm down, and then I'll be right back. But if you continue to escalate, a lot of guys are now starting to get caught up with domestic violence charge, and it's starting to go up. The numbers of domestic violence charge this year alone is up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, up by 20%. So men, stay away from certain conversation with women. If you know it's gonna irritate you, don't risk it all over just one petty conversation. Just step away and relate your thought, and then go ahead, reevaluate your thing. I think some of these guys don't understand. They got a lot to lose, and he's not the only one. There's other well-known stars that's getting into these cases. They need to really, really think, man, because they could end up losing everything. Go right ahead, Kim.
So for me, I'm looking at this like this. He's going to take a hit on this right now. Let's be real about it. The lady said that domestic violence is no laughing matter. So I wonder how his image is going to be portrayed after this. This is why being a socialite or being in the entertainment field, you got to be careful. Every move has to be watched.
Absolutely, and you know, I was a little bit surprised that he did something like this, but you know, like I said, we don't know more information on who he hit and everything, but it's definitely a bad luck when it comes to HaHa Davis because you know this definitely gonna when it comes to, you know, if you're looking for endorsement deals or people, I wouldn't say people want to book you and everything, but it kind of changed how people see you in a way, you know, especially if you have women fans and everything. So, so far he hasn't said anything, you know, on this social media, on Twitter or for IG or anything like that. So, hopefully we'll get some more information on you know what happened or who he was domestically violent to, and you know if you need some help, get some help, or if it could be a false, you know, something could be false. Maybe somebody called in false that has said that, you know, this person hit me, but actually didn't. So just waiting for more evidence in a way, and hopefully, you know, if he is found guilty, he needs to do the time. But if he's found innocent, he needs to speak about it, and defend himself.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Shout out to everybody watching us all across the board, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. So very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. And shout out to the new edition, the KR Culture Radio family, TikTok. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this Memorial Day. Oh man, shout out to all the veterans that served this country. We really do greatly appreciate you guys so much for serving this country. Y'all made this country great as what it is, safe and protected. Moving along, hey, main topic on today's show, Jordan, what's going on with Cenat and Streamer University?
So, you know, Cenat has little blockbuster streaming university where he elected, you know, I think it was 80 streamers to come to the college, and I think it was in Akron, Ohio, University of Akron, and to work with each other, collaborate, and he, you know, which, you know, I thought a lot of kids, you know, a lot of other people who was, you know, Twitch, you know, they was on multiple people's on multiple Twitch streams. But Cenat has gave DDG the MVP during their time at Streaming University. He believes that, you know, out of all the streamers, you know, DDG was the really person who stand out when it comes to in the Streaming University. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
This next award goes to DDG.
Make some noise, everybody. I want to give a shout out to Kai for always seeing like the good in me. I know a lot of y'all be seeing the shit on the internet, so I really appreciate you for having me. And shout out to y'all for streaming, getting up every morning and doing y'all thing. We doing good, man. We turning up. After this, I do want to say this. Y'all know I like to motivate and shit. Make sure when y'all get home and y'all get off that plane, y'all spark that stream up again. Don't leave this and then think, oh, this is it. We got to go every day for the rest of the year. All right? Shout out to Kai, man. Make some noise for him for putting this together. Oh, hold on. And I want to shout out to Mafia, because y'all know I ain't never averaged 100,000 views in my mother life. So shout out to the Mafia for showing love.
Yeah, so it was a great stream for, you know, for most streamers, you know, when it comes to Twitch, TikTok, with or any other streams they go through of them collaborating. But when it comes to DDG, he's one standout and he got the MVP award. So going to you, Ronnie, what's your take on the Streaming University and also DDG is getting an MVP at the Streaming University?
Now, Streaming University, I think, was a great idea for Cenat. Shout out to him and his team. That was something different, something unusual that never really occurred, bringing all the streamers together. Even though everybody think it was kind of biased because 1.9 million people applied, and he already had top streamers who always was already well known within the streaming industry. It wasn't really nobody really up and coming. Majority of the people that was selected was people that already was known. That's why he was able to do the number he did. Not to hate, but to me, it was a great business strategy. You had 23.3 million views with total within the 3 days. So Cenat went ahead and did his thing. He made history. History was made in the making. Now DBG getting a reward. I'm just being honest. I think he was just being biased. Cause DBG was everybody was talking about him all through last week when it came to Halle Berry. So about the allegation of abuse. So he was already trending in the algorithm. Why not give him MVP? I give him MVP too. It's gonna get me trending in the algorithm, me and getting people talking about streaming university. But through it all, it was a great event, and I think we also gonna talk about another content creator who also had a stipulation that occurred during the streaming university. So that's coming up next. But it's just show you that Cenat is doing something universal, something big. And I think he had other things that's kicking as well. But to me, if he's going to do another university again, he should really do up-and-coming streamers that don't have no following at all, that really trying to get into this game. That's just my opinion. Go right ahead, Akeem.
I'm going to have to support you and say that you're dead on. I thought the idea was good, but execution was flawed. And the point that I don't even know why this is even trending, that DDG getting an award. For what? For what reason? He's already famous. He's already paid.
He's in the algorithm, Akeem. We were talking about him last week.
Listen, for a lot of people think that I think maybe there was a few people in that streaming university who was unknown that kind of benefited from it. But I'm just saying, like you say, most of the people was known there. So I'm looking at this like, hey, it's cool and all that, but how anybody help is going to give people hope. But a lot of people ain't going to get 100,000 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers.
That is true.
Nobody's not going to get people to watch them. But you keep plowing through. So I thought this was cool, but I didn't understand why we even, this shit was kind of crazy.
I definitely caught a lot of stuff coming through university. Cenat has talked about this for months of building, and he executed it well. But I agree with you guys. I thought it was going to be, a little bit more newcomers when it comes to the streamers, and kind of learn from, these veteran streamers, who know how to put out content and know how to, the algorithm works and everything. So hopefully next year, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a different university. If he does another one, hopefully, he has like the sophomores that, that previous that he have streamers, and also he has the freshmen. What I mean by having upcoming streamers collaborate with these streamers in university, and also learn from them as well. So I thought that was execution. That DDG when it comes to Cenat and everything, before the him and Holly Bailey situation, he's like really the number one top upcoming streamers when he joined Twitch last year and doing the stream thing. So. And DDG, he's when it comes to content, when it comes to Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and also YouTube, he knows how to, build a brand when it comes to all these streaming services, and also IG and everything. So, DDG has it locked down. And I just feel like, Cenat gave him this award because, he's a top upcoming streamer. And and he's in the algorithm, and a lot of people, and I think he reached 100 million. Yeah, he reached over 1 million Twitch subscribers last week as well. So so right now DDG, when it comes to the streaming service, he's on fire. I'm not saying he's big like iShowSpeed or Cenat, but he knows what he's doing. When it comes to the streaming stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons that DDG got the award. Hopefully Cenat make more rewards, like somebody like the Rookie of the Year or the best female streamer, stuff like that. Hopefully he can build some more things if he does another streaming university next year.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do it. It was a big hit. Like I was saying, 23.3 million views within the 3 days. That's huge. That's huge for up and coming streamers, especially for the younger generation. And like Solo Numinati said, remember everything was trending in the everything was trending in the algorithm. Every Facebook post, Instagram, YouTube, it was all streaming university. So he did something very, very good, and I love to see that. But I just want him to get up and coming streamers that really don't have a following and to make a strong impact. Some guys already had a following, so I would say we can moving along to other other trending news. Look, we talking about right now, cooking with Kaya. Go ahead, Jordan. What's going on with cooking with Kaya?
Yeah, so at the Stream University, cooking with Kaya, as you know, she's been viral since last year. She was one of the hot streamers that was talking about because there was a situation when she was on stream and she was twerking and somebody touched his butt, but Kaya's boyfriend was seeing it because he's also a streamer, and also he has got a hotel 6 minutes away from Streaming University. He was upset and seeing that. But the thing is, Kaya is not really, seeming that they are together and everything. And the boyfriend, he's going not out and everything. So right now we don't know if they're together or not. But yeah, but Kaya, she went viral for this moment, and she's one of the top hot heavy freshmen who went viral. So and she's cooking right now. But other than that, go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
So basically, we for the people who don't know, we went to we had a party, like we all went to like the club. Basically, I was dancing with the girls. Supposedly, he touched me and I had no idea. Like, he touched me without me even seeing. So I was unaware of that until the chat started saying like his name, and I didn't know who he was at first. But he did just come up to me. He apologized if he did do it, which I'm not denying that he did because I've seen like a clip or whatever. But he apologized for it. No, y'all, don't not start saying assault. Don't start saying that, y'all. Don't say that. Don't say that. But he did apologize. He wanted to apologize on stream. He wanted to apologize He wanted to apologize to my chat for that, because, yeah, like I said, he said he was drunk. I didn't know that he was, like I said, I was with girls. I was with a group of girls. I was streaming the whole time. I was with a group of girls. So, supposedly, when he did that, he said he was, like, drunk or whatever. But, like I said, he apologized. All right, y'all, so basically...
Yeah, so right now, guys, we're watching a video clip. Well, of course, we can't play the sound because of copyright music, but y'all seeing it now. Oh, there you go. He's talking.
I want to be publicly embarrassed. You feel me? I don't want to be publicly embarrassed. She wasn't fucking with shit. Okay, I don't want to be publicly embarrassed, right? I don't want to be publicly disrespected, right? And I don't want her to let no nigga slide that's trying to get on that. Like, I'm not saying you gotta be disrespectful to the nigga and just automatically dub the nigga, but I no entertaining that shit. Put a nigga in a friend zone. The niggas that watch Twitch more, I'm publicly embarrassed now. Bro, I've been publicly embarrassed about that shit, nigga. Everybody that know me was like, what the fuck? Nigga, just because not everybody knew, a lot of people knew. I got a lot of supporters, bro. Everybody that knew me knew that we was together. So I was getting embarrassed the whole time, bro. Y'all should have seen my Discord game. These niggas on my ass. I'm like, and the thing is, I'm in the Discord, I'm like, nah, you're not doing shit, nah, nothing happening, nothing going on, no entertaining shit, nothing. You feel me? We knew? Yeah, all y'all niggas knew. But, and let me tell y'all why. There's 3 things that I don't want.
I was respectful enough to tell him, I still want this, but I just want you to go get established. That's all I was asking for. I just want him to get established. To the point where I kept telling him, like, yo, I got so fed up, I was literally telling him, like, go hang out with boys. You have friends out here. Like, get out the house. You don't gotta stay with me 24/7. Like, I don't know. I just got frustrated. It's just, yeah, I am too young. I just got frustrated of carrying the weight. Y'all, I couldn't do nothing. Like, he didn't let me do nothing. Like, oh my gosh. It was so bad. But anyways, like I said, I'm not gonna speak on his situation. I was respectful enough to tell him.
So there you have it. It seems like they're not together, but the boyfriend thinks they are together. But other than that, I think Kaya is such a viral, so much viral. There's a lot of men that go hit on her. But I want to hear from you guys. So go ahead, Rodney. What's your take?
Y'all might not like it. I'm with her. I'm on her. I'm with her. I'm with cooking with Kaya on this one. When a woman, because I didn't think about this earlier, but when a woman likes you, she's gonna help you out. She's gonna tell you certain things to make the relationship better. When a woman don't like you, she's gonna do what she wants. So cooking with Kaya was actually kind of helping him out, telling him like, hey, she wants you getting out of the house and hang with your boys. Pretty much, she wants freedom. You are smarter than her. As a man that's very confident in his woman, he's gonna let his woman to have the freedom to do whatever she wants to do, and knowing at the end of the day she's still coming back home to you. To me, I understand why he overreacted because she is pretty, and a lot of guys are trying to get with her. But if you know that's your woman, you know where your position stand. You should be confident enough. Say, you know, I trust her enough that I know nothing going wrong. And mind you, Jordan, like you stated, he was 6 minutes away, so you know afterwards she was gonna come see you, man. She turned up. So I think he just got emotional for no reason because he saw that clip going around. He got to realize a lot of guys gonna touch a woman's butt. It just is what it is. You know, she's shaking it on the camera. That's what she does. Everybody knows this. But at the end of the day, he should not even trip. He should not even overreact it. I think he overreacted, and it made her not look at him as a very attractive man. It turned her off, as you can see in her tape. It turned her way off. So he should have been confident knowing that nobody ain't gonna take your woman. Go right here, that King. Go take.
So I want y'all to remember, these are kids we're talking about. These not even adults.
No, they ain't kids, man. They 21 and up, bro. They ain't no kids.
In my line of work, you a kid.
Man, you can still date her if you want to. Stop the cat.
No. They'll call that assault.
Look, even Jordan laughing. Stop the cat. You'll still date her.
I wouldn't do that.
If you was single, you're unavailable. If she was single,
No.
you would still date that girl. Like, stop the cat. Like,
no, listen, she could be my daughter. So,
man, a lot of guys say that. They're the main guy that try to holler at them. But go ahead. You'll take. Go ahead.
So the thing about this is, these are young kids who are trying to form a relationship in public, and mind you, they both have dysfunctional lifestyles. So I'm saying is this: they need to just worry about building their career and get emotionally mature, mentally mature, and spiritually mature before trying to involve themselves in a relationship.
That was he said. That was he said. She helping them out. She said that.
Like they can't listen. They both can't even hold correct sentences as they were talking, and they in a relationship. Come on, man. Like, get respect yourself.
She did, but she said exactly what she said. She told him, go ahead and build yourself up, and she got turned off. I can't. She ain't feeling him no more.
And when it comes to what she said, build yourself up, I took it as, try to get as viral as I can. That's what I think it is. And and my take is a little bit different, y'all. I feel like they be having problems in the relationship in a couple of months. How the guy was talking about, this and that and everything. They had problems. This is before Stream University. I kind of feel like when it comes to when Cookie Ricardo got, instantly viral and everything, because they're both streamers at the time. At the time, they was like this. And then you got Cookie Ricardo, all of a sudden, she went up here and he kind of stayed right here because we don't know who he is. We don't know that the streamer name and everything. So I think for a man, I would say his ego is hurt. You are happy for your woman, but to see her have instant viral moments instantly, and now she's like when it comes to Instagram, like I said, every video she posts out, she averages between 1 to 2 million views, easy. She never go under 1 million views because of her videos she posts up and everything. And now, people want to collab with her and everything. And that tells me, when people want to collab with you, you get it. You get when it comes into like the streaming world, Instagram world, YouTube world, and all that type of stuff and everything. You getting more successful and everything. And people will start recognize you more. If that's the case, that means other men would say, "Hey, is she single? She bad? Oh wow, look at her body and everything." And a lot of men who are millionaires, like YouTubers, even athletes, they want to holler at her to go on a date with her and everything. So, and he's seeing that right now. And the thing is, he hasn't seen that in Stream University. He has saw this at least, the last 2 or 3 months because of her success and everything. He see that, hey, this relationship is not going well because, she gets so much success. And she's talked to all these millionaires and YouTubers, all that, everything, and I'm not there yet. So I think, it kind of hurt his ego. Say, hey, how she got there, I didn't get there. and that it does have a strain on relationship. You might love each other and everything, but that success thing, you know, especially when you in the same field, they're both streamers, and he didn't get that. I know it kind of hurts him in a way, and I know he's kind of using that of him of cooking with Kaya. Say, you know, he didn't want to go home, he didn't want to go out with his boys, he didn't want to, you know, build himself and everything. And eventually, I think, you know, it's not going to work out. I think Kyle should say, "Hey, we're not together no more. You know, we squash it. You know, I'm on to I'm on to my streaming stuff, build my success, and it stands for there and everything." But yeah, this is the thing of, you know, Kaya having it's a success, and he does it, and that kind of, when it comes to being a streaming service, it does have an effect on a relationship.
And I can't. Kaya's age is 23, so she is a grown adult. She's under age to have kids. So I'm just.
I can't. She's tall. I mean, she's kind of tall too.
She's a teeny
she's
bopper.
tall. She is not short.
She ain't short.
People think she's short. She's pretty tall. She's like, I think, what,
tall.
5'7", 5'8".
She's about 5'7",
she's tall.
5'8". You know, she's above that.
So I can't. She's far from being a little girl. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, you know how, you know, every generation we all have that one hot girl. Right now, when it comes to YouTube and Twitch, she's a hot girl right now.
Yeah, it's his insecurity. That's all it is. And you remember, you gotta know the girl you with. That's what you got. That's part of the game. You gotta know what the type of girl you got. If you got a loyal girl, you see she loyal, somebody type of butt. She wasn't twerking on the dude type the butt. You saw he apologized. So I did apologize. You should have been cool with it. But you know, it's the internet. You dating a streamer. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Moving along to other trending news. Jordan, what's going on with the French president? He got slapped?
Well, apparently that's what they're saying. But when it comes to the French president, he said it was just a love push. But it went viral yesterday of our French president's wife allegedly slapped him in his face, and you know, and that definitely went viral. You know, especially for people that, you know, never see something like this and becomes into politics. So go ahead, High Clean, play the small clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to find the clip now. There you go.
So yeah, people thought it was a slap. People think it was just like a little love, just a little fool around, horse playing. That's all. But people got different opinions on this. But go ahead, Ronnie. What's your opinion on this?
Man, he was playing. Man, Jordan, he was playing around, man. That was like a push. Like, you know how the games, you know, women play, like, you know, when they shoving you or pushing you. I thought it was like a verbal, like a real slap, like a slap to the face. And I was like, oh, that's like a play, man. They were playing around, man. I don't know. What you guys take on that? Go ahead. I want to know, but I think she was playing.
The way I seen it hit, I think it was just a friendly tap. Plus, he was smiling after that.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, so it was like, I don't think it was nothing.
You can tell by the body language. You know, as soon as he opened the door, I'm coming. Give me a second. As soon as he opened the door and I saw like the slap and everything, I was like, okay, I gotta see this again. And then what I saw was like, oh, this is a love tap, because if they opened the door and you saw he had like a demeanor, strong demeanor, like an angry demeanor, that's why we were like, wow, like slap. And we were like, oh crap, he probably would have moved something like that. But yeah, this is just a little horseplay and everything, you know. You saw both of them. They both didn't look angry, mad, or upset and everything. They both was like, hey, you know, let's go out, take these pictures, do what we need to do.
Final topic on today's show, Jordan. What's going on with his grandmother? You go right ahead.
So as we talked about it last week, we had some about what was it like over 10 people escaped in the New Orleans jail, and they originally get caught. But one of these escapees, the grandmother was arrested because he was sending him cash while he was on the run. And to me, I ain't mad at Granny for that. But go ahead, I can't play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Person has been arrested for allegedly helping one of the inmates who broke out of the Orleans Parish Jail. This latest arrest prompting another warning from law enforcement officials to not help the men who are still on the run. Louisiana State Police say Connie Whedon of Slidell was in contact with Jermaine Donald. They say she sent him cash via a cell phone up after his escape. NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick, who remember is not in charge of the jail but is a part of the massive manhunt, says she believes more arrests are coming and soon. Third person has been arrested.
Wow. Now they said more arrests is coming.
Yeah.
So more people gonna get arrested.
So I got a question for you, Ronnie. Was Granny wrong for what she was doing, or was she right for what she was doing? Because
Granny, she loved her grandson. She loved her grandson to the point that even though he was doing wrong, she still had to support him. She sent him some money, probably sent him some food, everything he needed. But poor old Granny, she gonna end up in jail for like 5 to 10 years just for something stupid like that. To me, if these guys are criminals, some of these guys have like serious offenses to the point that it's second degree deletion. That's how bad it is. So for Granny to help with this type of thing, I understand she have a love for her grandson, but your grandson is a criminal and he needs to be right where he belongs, right behind bars. And now look, she's gonna be behind bars for something stupid like that. She should immediately call the authorities and put him right where he belongs. But I think all of them are captured, right? How many people they got left?
They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Right here, Hakeem.
So I want to preface this. If it was me, I would have done the same thing. Any mother, grandmother, auntie, these are their boys. They're gonna do it. Sometimes I don't think the mother understands what's going on. She know her baby in prison. Regardless of the fact, anybody gonna help their kids out. I'm gonna land it like that. And if people have a problem with it, then I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna say it like this. Y'all. And I learned this, and this is pretty true with what I say. As a parent, you're gonna love your kids. But when it comes to grandmothers, sometimes the grandmothers love the grandkids than more their own kids.
Facts.
And so when I'm saying this, I'm not mad at when it comes to Granny, what she want to do. Of course, she's gonna help her grandmother. Hey, she gonna send them money. Right, you need me to cook. You need me to get you some clothes. What do you want me to do, grandson? I'm trying to help you out and everything. So, she probably talk to him and say, hey, you gotta turn yourself in and everything. Make them feel good, eat whatever, and send money. But also say, hey, you gotta turn yourself in, grandson. You gotta do that as well because mostly grandparents, they see something like that, they'll take care of you. But hey, you gotta take yourself back, and do what you need to do. So hopefully, with the grandmother, she doesn't, she don't go to jail and everything. Hopefully, it'll be do some community service or a small bond, anything like that. She was just a grandmother who want to help the grandson, and I'm not mad at that at all.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board, Facebook, Instagram, Kids, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. It's so very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. And thank you guys so much for tuning in on TikTok as well. Guys, it's so very important you go to KL Culture Radio description. In the description where we have the KL Culture Radio store, where you can find the KL Culture Radio merch, like the t-shirt, the hat, the coffee mug, you name it. The sweaters, it's all in the KL Culture Radio store. It's in the description and it's also on top of the chat as well. Guys, it's also very important you go to KL Culture Radio community tab. In the community tab where you can find Prince Hakeem's book, Raising King, and also his other book, Black Love. Come over here. Support the platform, support the author. He is up and coming for you guys. Also on TikTok, make sure you go ahead and follow his channel as well. He is right now on TikTok, right there at the bottom. So guys, go ahead, show some love, follow him. He also has some dope take when it comes to aspect of relationship, and also it's also so very important. Go to Care when you're in Care Culture Radio Community Tab. Don't forget to hit that album as well from this guy right here, Prince Bello, man. That's out now. Go ahead, get yourself a copy. On the back is a QR code. It leads you guys right over to the album.
And how
Thank
can
you guys so much for making the Care Culture Radio.
We get that studio.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I want to say this to King. Once we get that studio, I want to make sure they show your screen. I want you to show all your CDs and all your books.
Yeah.
And all the plaques.
Yeah. No, we're gonna do it. You're right.
There you go, guys. Go ahead, cop that album. Show support the black brothers, support black artists, support black authors as well. Don't be afraid. Good read, and also the book is a good read, and also the album is also a good listen to. So especially on this Memorial Day, a lot of people are having a cookout. Go ahead, play that song track. But like always, shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll be back on Wednesday because tomorrow we gotta catch a flight. So there won't be no show tomorrow, but there will be a show on Wednesday. You guys.
More Diddy news.
Yeah, more. And of course, Diddy trial will resume tomorrow. So guys, sit back and relax. I think they got somebody else on the stand. I think they got another male escort that's gonna be on the stand tomorrow, and also I think an examiner tomorrow. But the prosecution is almost done. They only got one more week before the defense take over. So they gotta prove that Diddy was wrong. They gotta show proof. But like always, thank you for tuning in to Care Culture Radio, guys. We over and out. Peace.